My name is Jennifer Gingras, and I am the zoning administrator for the town of Lexington. I am here tonight to present Article 10 for short-term rentals. In recent years, short-term rentals through companies such as Airbnb and VRBO have resulted in many inquiries from neighbors and renters. The Land Use, Health and Development Department was asked to develop a regulation in response to these concerns from residents in neighborhoods that were experiencing impacts where short-term rentals operate. The Building and Zoning, Public Health, Economic Development, and Planning offices all cooperated on the short-term rental bylaw in order to protect residents' public safety, public health, and quality of life, while allowing an avenue for residents to be able to operate short-term rental businesses in homes in Lexington. Some common short-term rental concerns that we heard from residents is that visitors won't know or follow the local rules. Renters may be less considerate of neighbors. Increased occupancy may have a negative impact on parking and traffic. Unregulated short-term rentals are less likely to meet safety codes. The increase in the number of strangers in a neighborhood can make some people feel unsafe. And the short-term rentals may reduce the available housing stock for residents. By having a regulation, we would be able to address these concerns. Some potential benefits from the short-term rental. Short-term rental income can help residents afford their mortgage or taxes. Short-term rentals can promote cultural exchange. They can help bring tourism dollars to local businesses. They can help provide more overnight options for Lexington visitors. And the registration process overall will increase the public safety, decrease impacts of public health, and improve quality of life for neighbors. Our goals with the short-term rental registration process is to provide much needed housing from being turned into permanent short-term rentals, allow homeowners to make extra income while promoting town-wide economic growth, and ensure that short-term rentals are safe for renters, owners, and neighborhoods. An overview of the bylaw. A short-term rental refers to the rental of any dwelling unit or bedroom as a residential accommodation for a duration of less than 30 consecutive days. The registration process will be an annual registration, and it will require an inspection by the building department prior to the certificate being issued. There are two types of short-term rentals: operator occupied and operator adjacent. The operator occupied short-term rental, the operator would be able to rent the whole dwelling unit or up to 3 bedrooms in their own dwelling unit where they live as a primary residence. For the operator adjacent short-term rental, if they are the owner of an entire building with a maximum of 4 dwelling units, one of which must be the primary residence, then they can operate a short-term rental in one of the other dwelling units. And here's an example, a diagram showing the difference between operator occupied and operator adjacent. In the operator occupied, the operator is living in this dwelling, and they're also renting out 3 bedrooms within their own dwelling unit. For the operator adjacent, the operator lives in this dwelling unit. They're renting out one other separate dwelling unit from their own, but it is one that they own. And they can also rent out 3 individual bedrooms in their own dwelling unit. What cannot be a short-term rental? Designated affordable housing may not be used as a short-term rental. Accessory apartments may not be used as a short-term rental for the reason that it would take away from the much-needed diverse housing stock in Lexington. And also any property in violation of the state sanitary code may not be used. Requirements for the short-term rentals. They can't be rented more than 120 consecutive or non-consecutive days per year when the operator is not present. The short-term rental is limited to 10 total guests or 2 adult guests per bedroom, whichever is fewer. And the unit can only be rented to one party of renters when the operator is not present. The short-term rental also cannot be used for commercial events or meetings. The short-term rental will have to comply with building department regulations, which will be verified during inspection and the registration process. There needs to be compliance with fire and safety regulations, including an inspection by the fire department within the past 6 months for the initial registration and every 3 years thereafter. Life safety systems must be in place, including smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. The emergency and egress openings must be in conformance with the state building code. And the address of the short-term rental or property must be posted in a visible location from the street. Some other procedural requirements for the short-term rental. The operator must post in all short-term rentals instructions for the town's waste disposal and recycling programs, an emergency exit diagram, contact information for the operator, or when the operator is not present, contact information for another locally available contact that would be able to respond to emergencies. Information regarding the town's parking regulations, especially during the winter months, and a copy of the certificate of registration for the short-term rental. And the short-term rental would also be subject to the room occupancy, excise, and community impact fees. By requiring these items, we hope to achieve our goals and ensure safety for all, while also allowing an avenue for residents to be able to operate short-term rentals in Lexington. Thank you for your attention to Article 10 for short-term rentals.